And the guy was white, and he like sped off real fast because he was scared, right?
That's how the white boys be.
Reparations.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
We kept going.
Hold on, wait. White is reparations for black women? Are you saying that?
Yes, I am saying it.
The name of this episode, y'all. White is reparations for black women. She said it, not
Can I say why though?
You're telling me that reparations for all the things that were taken from your ancestors, you now having the ability to be a comfortable prostitute?
My house, and I was out with somebody else. And as the guy was dropping me off to my house, he was pulling up. So
you was cheating?
I was cheating. Growth, okay? Growth.
Growth.
God. As I was getting dropped, and the guy was white, and he like sped off real fast because he was scared, right?
That's how the white boys be.
Oh gosh.
Reparations. So as we kept going,
Wait.
Just to be clear, having sexual access to white men is not reparations. I don't even know why this needs to be said. It is not full reparations.
Hey, white is reparations for black women? Are you saying that?
Yes, I am saying it.
All right.
My baby daddy. What?
Oh my gosh. This is so disturbing. That is actually very damning, very not only dishonoring thing to say about our ancestors, but it speaks to a deep level of ignorance and a deep level of self-loathing. Again, when you consider where you came from, right? And when you consider what your ancestors went through, stolen from their land, not able to speak their own languages, not able to use their own practices. Many of them separated from their family, from their kids, having kids being sold off without you having a say, having men forced onto you, being raped, being beaten, being sodomized, being tortured, being brutalized, oftentimes working hours upon hours with little food, harsh living conditions, psychological things that were done to the slaves to keep them from trusting each other so that they could not mobilize together and get themselves out of captivity. The way men and women were not even perceived as humans. We were literally seen as 3/5 of a person, being robbed of economic opportunity, being robbed of the ability to even really create wealth for hundreds of years. And then even after slavery, right? You had the Reconstruction era, you had Jim Crow, you had the crack era, you had gentrification. Again, these are different things systematically that have been done to help essentially keep Black America as a permanent underclass. It's not to say that there aren't Black people out there who aren't doing good. There obviously are. There are always those who, despite all these things, are able to be the exception. But again, we're talking about the exception and not the general rule, right? So again, when you remember that there has been a system that has essentially been against your people and people like you, for you to say that justice and reparations equates to you being treated like a white man's side piece, what does that say about your self-worth? What does that say about what you think you are worth and what you think your ancestors, your people are worth? It is one of the most degrading things I have ever heard. And white men have had sexual access to Black women since the beginning of this nation. Sally Hemings, anyone? You had breeding farms? What are you talking about? White men have been sleeping with Black women since the beginning. White men, Black women, sexual escapades is nothing new. If anything, it was actually a tool used as psychological warfare against the mindset of these women. And sadly, I think this is a prime example of what happens when you have lovely ladies out there who are completely disconnected from not only their history, but they're completely disconnected from any sense of self-worth and any sense of dignity. You have to see that that's not normal. This is not normal. This is not healthy. This is not comical. This is the mindset of a community in decline. This is a mindset of women who are in self-destruct mode and don't even know it. But let's continue.
That's the name of this episode, y'all. White is reparations for black women. She said it, not
Can I say why though?
And let me say, I don't identify with that. Let me just make that very clear. I do, as a Black woman from America who has had generations and generations of my family here, I do not identify with that. Okay? I am far away from that. Okay, I just want to make that crystal clear.
No, all my bills was paid. I wasn't arguing with nobody.
I was about to say,
getting taken out for trips.
because you know they've been giving slaves white on the low. You know.
She said all my bills were paid. I wasn't arguing with nobody. I was taking out on trips. So you're basically talking about being treated like what, somebody's girlfriend? You see what a slave mindset? See what that looks like. Her criteria is so bottom of the barrel. Like, oh wow, he paid for my bills, and that's not breaking news. This is what has been going on for hundreds of years. Women have their bills paid for, especially from like their husband or people that they are, intimately involved with. The exception of that being if you are a prostitute. What she sounds like she is alluding to is being a prostitute. So you're telling me that reparations for all the things that were taken from your ancestors and the opportunities that were stripped from communities, reparations is you now having the ability to be a comfortable prostitute? It's a very poor argument. It's a very poor argument, because that's essentially what she is describing. She's like, oh, I had my bills paid. Oh, okay, and no arguing. Okay, and we went on some trips. It's like, have you never had a boyfriend? Like, have you never been in a basic healthy relationship? That's what dads do. That dads who are even halfway present pay bills. Okay, like may take you to some restaurants and y'all may have a vacation every so often. Like, that's just like basic human existence. So again, this is not the mindset of a woman that has self-respect, has any understanding of just where she comes from, and likely doesn't have any understanding of where she is going. Being treated like a human being is not reparations. The whole point of reparations is to repair everything that was taken from you. So again, what we talked about people being taken from their land, being robbed of economic opportunities, having their kids taken from them, psychological warfare, literally having different psychological strategies that were done on these slaves to keep them from trusting each other, to keep them hating themselves, not to mention the land that was taken, not to mention all of the free labor, all the economic opportunities that were robbed from them, and then the different policies that happened on the plantation and even after that fact to keep this current Black community a permanent underclass. And this, we're not even talking about, again, the psychological effects of this, the emotional effects of this, the trauma, how that passes on generationally until it's addressed, the kids that were stolen, all of that. So in order for reparations to actually happen, if we're talking from a political standpoint, from a societal standpoint, all of those different areas would need to be addressed. So it is a disgrace, truly, to believe that with all that needs to be repaired, with all that really needs to be repaired, the only thing you need to be happy, and the only thing that Black women need to have to be happy is to just be a white man's prostitute, because that's essentially what she just described. That is an utter disgrace. If all you need to be satisfied is to just have your basic needs taken care of, how low do you value yourself? A dog can get that. I see dogs in my community that probably get treated better than some of the women in this podcast.
Oh my God. No,
she was being him. She was being him. She was whipping him.
Come on.
Did you whip him?
I didn't whip him.
Oh, okay. I mean, I would have gave him. I would have get.
What?
That was reparations.
Reparations.
Oh, wait, y'all. I think y'all breezed by what she just said.
Like, never believe that a white man's attention is reparations. That's just dumb on all levels, socially, politically, emotionally. So that is just a complete and utter slap in the face of our actual ancestors, and truly a slap in the face for you. No. If you love somebody, do it because you love them, not because you're looking for reparation. That's just weird. Truthfully, it's just weird and twisted if you really think about it. But I think really the bigger issue is this. If you being treated just like a basic human being in your mind is something so special that it's reparations, it's like, what did that say again about how you value yourself? And what does it also say about how you value that white man? Why does he have to do so very little for you to be impressed? Is it because you value yourself that low? Is it because you value whiteness that high? What is that about? And then this is the perfect example of, this is a slave mindset. Just call it. It is a slave mindset. It is a mindset of a person who does not think that they are worth anything better than the bare minimum. And if that's what you believe about yourself, that is how you're going to portray yourself. That's how you're going to act. And that is the reputation you're going to have. And this is precisely why Black women right now have such a horrible reputation. We have the slavery mindset going on. We have these horrible things going on as a result. And then we have the nerve to go online and boast about it. Like, at least have shame. If you're going to go around and act like a white man's prostitute, like, at least be shamed of, at least hide it, or don't boast about it, or say, look, this is what I'm doing, but like, don't try to put it on a pedestal. Don't go around and act like a prostitute and then now try to sell it as if this is some like high life. It's not. And even if you're not saying such, that's how people are perceiving it. And it's sad because we could actually be induced so much more. As I mentioned before, women have an incredible capacity to not only destroy a community, we've seen that in action, but also to build up a community, right? Apart from all the brainwashing, apart from all the slavery mindsets, apart from all that, God made women with an incredible purpose, to build up families, to build up communities, and also to be carriers of wisdom. I've said this so many times. If you look at the wisdom text, and if you look at different passages in the Bible specifically that talk about wisdom, they are a lot of times they are personified as women. So unfortunately, what we see now, again, is women who are not, they don't know who they are. They're historical, from a historical sense, from a social, cultural sense. They ultimately are spiritually lost. And because they don't have an identity, they are now subject to all of this BS, all of the brainwashing that we see going on. And it is just weighing these people down. And so this is not normal. This is not healthy. If you actually believe this, I'm just here to tell you that that's unhealthy. God did not create you to be just a prostitute of somebody else. God created you created you to have purpose and value, and likely to be a helpmeet, to be a benefit to your community, and to actually bring life and bring benefit to your community, not to just suck people dry and not to just go around creating more problems. But you have to believe that, and you have to know that. You have to know that as a woman, as a Black woman, you actually have potential to do and to be something good, and to do and be something valuable, and to do and be something powerful. That is what God intended for you to be. But if you don't know your spiritual identity, and if you don't know even who you are from a historical, from a cultural, from a social standpoint, you are now going to be whatever the world tells you that you are. And that is nothing else than a illiterate, sad, boisterous, prideful prostitute who is on the road for destruction. And I don't want that for any of you guys. If you are interested in learning more about your true spiritual value and who you are as a woman, be sure to follow this page. And thank you so much for listening. If you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later, okay? Bye.